Imagine a garden that gets better every year without lifting a finger each spring. In this video, we'll show you the best perennial plants that come back bigger, bloom longer, and make your garden look effortlessly stunning season after season. So these are reliable, beautiful, and low maintenance.
In sun or shade, beds or containers, these perennials will all find a place in our garden. And we'll show you how to keep your flowering perennials blooming for longer.
Perennials are plants that come back year after year, unlike annuals that need to be replanted each season. They're perfect for gardeners who want a gorgeous garden without having to do too much gardening. These long flowering varieties are ideal if you want continuous colour and interest without the constant upkeep. And they're also fantastic for pollinators, bringing bees, butterflies and other beneficial insects into your garden. And while they do need a bit of care, like the occasional deadheading or cutting back, they are plants that you can rely on. Let's talk about Alchemilla mollis now, also known as lady's mantle. It thrives in partial shade, but it can handle full sun too. And it's perfect for softening the edges of borders and paths. So we love an interesting leaf, and these have scalloped, velvety leaves that kind of catch raindrops in the most magical way. In late spring to early summer, it produces vivid lime green flowers that look stunning in a bed, but they're also great as cut flowers in an arrangement. Now, to keep it looking fresh, cut back the flower stems once they start to fade. This will encourage a flush of new foliage and sometimes even a second batch of flowers. It's also a great self-seeder, sometimes too great. But if you don't want the seedlings everywhere, just snip the flower heads before they set seed.
Are you a lover of lavender? It's incredibly popular, but also incredibly tricky to keep alive in a temperate climate like ours. They often don't come back after a long winter, and if they do, they often become very leggy. A fantastic alternative is Nepeta or catmint, and it's one of our favourites. It has soft lavender blue flowers and aromatic silvery foliage that smells amazing. It thrives in full sun and blooms from late spring into early autumn. Pollinators absolutely love it, especially bees. Nepeta benefits from the Chelsea chop, which is a gardening technique where you cut back herbaceous perennials by about half their height in late May after the Chelsea flower show. Doing this encourages fuller and more compact growth, helping the stems to be less floppy and prolong flowering. It will regrow quickly and you'll get another round of flowers in no time. Nepeta is perfect for giving a Mediterranean feel to a garden by lining sunny paths or spilling over the edges of beds. So plant them at the front of borders.
Geum is a new addition to our garden and it's already becoming a favourite. From the fiery orange to totally tangerine, which is this one here, to the soft muted pinks of Mai Tai. They do well in full sun or partial shade. And geum adds a burst of colour from late spring into summer. And the flowers float on these wiry stems, kind of dancing in the breeze, and they're fantastic for adding vertical movement to a border. Now, to deadhead, just simply follow the flower down the stem to the base of the plant and then snip it off like so. This keeps the plant strong, looking fresh, and encourages more flowers. And they also divide really well too, so you can buy one from the garden centre and chop it up into 2 or more plants, which is perfect for bringing a ton of colour to your garden on a budget.
There is one plant that's an absolute must for any sunny border. Its tall purple flower spikes add height and drama, and it's a magnet for bees. It blooms steadily from May through to September, especially if you keep deadheading it. Yep, we're talking about salvias, a plant that looks stunning dotted around the garden. To keep your plant blooming for as long as possible, make sure you cut back the flower spikes to just above a healthy set of leaves once the flowers start to fade. This simple step encourages the plant to focus its energy on producing new blooms rather than putting effort into seed production. We also like planting perennials from seed. Yarrow is a classic cottage garden favourite, and it's the perfect addition to any English country garden like ours. As a wildflower, we often see it on our country walks, and to be honest, it's been tempting to take a couple of cheeky cuttings to bring home. It has flat top clusters of flowers in yellow, pink or white, and it's great for cutting to make a vase in your home. It practically blooms all season from early summer right the way through to autumn in full sun, and it's especially lovely mixed into a prairie style planting. Echinacea or coneflower is a garden essential. I adore the colour combination of these deep pink reds and orange centres, but it also comes in red, white and yellow. We're growing lots of echinacea from seed, but it will come back next year, and it's readily available from garden centres. It's perfect in sunny spots in a bed or container. To deadhead, cut the spent flower just above the next bud or leaf node, but in the autumn, make sure you leave the seeds head for the birds.
Have I just pulled it out thinking it's a weed?
Yes.
That's good.
Literally while I'm talking about it.
This next perennial is a charming little daisy that blooms in full sun from late spring all the way through to autumn. It has these delicate white petals that will turn pink during the summer months. Now it's perfect for the front of beds and containers, but it is incredibly adaptable and will happily grow in cracks, crevices, walls and containers. It's the particularly tricky to pronounce Erigeron Kerinskianus. We've got it spilling beautifully out of this container here on these patio steps, which looks great, but it also works perfectly at the front of a border to soften the edge.
For me, a garden without hydrangeas just wouldn't be complete. They're a garden favourite for their huge blooms in soft blues, pinks, purples, greens and whites. We have a hydrangea Annabelle, which is just starting to set into bud, and we also have a lovely pink mop head. But on my wish list, I have a climbing hydrangea and vanille fraise. I dream of having blue hydrangeas, but they've always grown pink in our garden without acidic soil. Apparently you can put coins in the soil, but we have tried it and it hasn't worked for us. We will keep trying. Best in partial shade, they bloom from early summer into autumn. We've got a couple in full sun position, and unfortunately the flowers are fading fast. Hydrangea flowers provide frost protection for the growth buds that will become next year's blooms, so it's advisable not to deadhead. Instead, wait until the following spring and give it a good prune. They're also one of the easiest plants to propagate to get more planter free. Just snip a non-flowering stem and pop it in some soil, and it's as simple as that. There is a hydrangea for everyone, whether you want something in dappled shade corner or a showstopper in a pot. Every garden should have one.
Astrantia, otherwise known as masterwort, is a real gem for your garden. It will flappily flower happily in full sun or partial shade and adds a lovely romantic charm that's perfect for country style look. Its delicate star-shaped flowers start blooming in late spring and keep going all through summer. And if you deadhead regularly, you might even get them to bloom into early autumn. Now, to keep it looking neat and encourage more flowers, just cut the flower spike at the base when the flowers start to fade. It's an easy step that helps keep your plant tidy and thriving all season long.
Sedum is one of the easiest perennials you can grow, and another Sheffield May Gardens favourite. It thrives in full sun and adds beautiful structure to a garden, especially in late summer and autumn. The fleshy succulent leaves are attractive even before the pink and red flowers open. Sedum is another plant that will benefit from the Chelsea chop at the end of May. There's no need to deadhead. The beautiful sea heads provide structure and interest if left standing through winter. Cut the stems right back to the ground in spring as new succulent growth appears. This plant is unusual in that it looks great at every stage. Buds, blooms and sea heads all have their moment.
Hardy geraniums thrive in shade and are perfect for adding a splash of colour to a shady border. They're low growing and spread quickly, so are great for ground cover that will help suppress weeds. And they'll bloom right from late spring through to the first frost. They can be cut back after the first flush of flowers, and they produce fresh foliage and more flowers. They're brilliant under shrubs or in woodland style gardens. Plus, they're often semi-evergreen, so you get year-round interest.
Not to be missed is Verbena bonariensis. It creates a soft effect that looks great weaving through other plants with its tall, wiry stems and clusters of small purple flowers. It blooms non-stop in full sun from midsummer right through to the first frost. It sells seeds, so you'll probably find it popping up all over the garden once planted. Although Verbena bonariensis is hardy, it will benefit from a good mulch to protect it over winter if you're in a colder region.
A personal favourite of mine has to be lupins. Seriously, just look at these beautiful tall flower spikes. They are such amazing drama and height to any border. If you love that wow factor, then lupins are where it's at. Now, they need full sun to really thrive, and they're not fans of soggy, boggy soil, but other than that, they're pretty reliable and will come back year after year. Now, when the flowers start to fade, you've got two options. You can cut them right back at the base of the plant to encourage a second round of blooms, or you can let them go to seed. If you choose the seed route, then you can collect and sow them next year. They might not grow exactly like the parent plant, but they'll still bring lovely colour and charm to your garden.
If you loved learning about these amazing perennials, you're going to want to check out our next video all about no-dig gardening. It's a game changer for keeping your soil healthy and your plants thriving with less effort.
Trust me, once you see how simple it is, you'll never want to dig again. Click here to watch and take your garden to the next level.